Mike, did you watch the Crawford Brooks fight on the weekend?
Definitely, definitely. What a great bout. It was
Great,
everything
eh?
I expected. Everything
We
I expected. It
we
started off a little slow, I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
Brooks, he was able to, he took advantage of the opening 3 rounds and he kept Crawford at bay using
yep,
that stiff jab
yep,
and that straight right hand. And Crawford looked a little befuddled.
yep.
And, once that switch stance came up, the whole game changed.
I think, I find that Crawford's really scientific in his approach to boxing. Like he really feels the guys out, and then he goes in, right, and then he starts to close in. And I loved how, like you said, he switched stances, right? I think he started orthodox, then switched to southpaw, if I'm not mistaken. And
That's
then
correct.
of course came the fourth round TKO. But
Oh, that was
yeah,
nice. That
and
was
and
brilliant.
and the funny thing is, it was great. And the thing is with Brooks, I don't think he's ever been knocked out like that.
I don't think so
Not
either.
not to my
Not to
knowledge,
not to my
right?
recollection. I can't recall ever
So
seeing him get knocked like that.
that just speaks to his power that Crawford has. And it's really interesting, actually, if you go back to, like the pre-fight hype and everything, and they got guys talking about each other, and Kell Brooks is naturally the bigger guy. He really
Yes,
is, right?
yes,
But
definitely.
it just, like, it comes down to me, like when you're in the weight class that you're in, I think that power is like you're born with power. It doesn't, like, size does matter in that sense, but if you're a power puncher, you're born with it. You've got it. So even though Crawford was the smaller man, he's got it, right. And all it takes
See,
is one
it's
shot.
not just size though, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, technique. Technique is everything.
that's what I'm
Technique,
saying, Mike. That's
technique is
exactly what I'm
power.
saying.
Right? You don't.
Yeah, yeah,
The bigger man is not always the hardest hitter. It's the
exactly.
one with the cleanest technique. The cleanest technique generates the most power. That's the
That's
way it
right.
works.
Yep,
And you know what?
absolutely.
These guys, they got it, man. They got
Yeah,
it. And just the power of Crawford when he
yep.
smashed Brook with those piston-like hands.
Oh yeah, that was
As
great.
soon as he, as soon
Yeah,
as he connects, he smashed him. Just
yeah.
that was it.
And I think it just cements his position even more. Like, because Kell Brooks was a formidable opponent. Like he's banged with some of the good ones.
Yes,
and
definitely.
and so it's not like he was just like another stepping stone. He was a good fighter. So like there's so much to unpack about this, right? Like what's going to happen to Kell Brooks now? Is he done? What, like, and then the comments made by Bob Arum. I don't know if you heard that
Oh no,
afterwards.
I didn't.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't hear. I didn't hear those.
Yeah, no, he's like made some complaint, like how he was losing money on Terence Crawford, and Crawford wants more fights, obviously, and it's uh,
Who
it's a
doesn't want
re-
most fights as a fighter?
yeah, yeah,
That's when these guys. That's when these guys want to. That's what they want to do, man. They want to be in that ring. That's where they feel
I
at
know,
home.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like climbing up the ranks, and like you got some like it's interesting. They've got some really good like there's a good swath of opponents that they could each like
Right.
go after, because you got Keith Thurman. You got Errol Spence Jr. Oh, looks like Christian might be coming back. We'll see. We got Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, and of course Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, definitely.
So
He's never going to stop that guy.
no, no. Well,
Pacquiao's never going to stop.
and the funny part is like I think Top Rank and Bob Arum had a deal arranged with Manny Pacquiao to fight with Crawford in somewhere in the Middle East, I think it was.
Right.
But
Right.
because of COVID, it all kind of fell through, of
Yeah, it fell
course.
apart.
Yeah.
So you know what? Who's what I'm trying to see is what's Crawford's next move? Is Crawford going to fight Pacquiao or is he going to fight Earl Spence Jr.? Honestly, I'd
I
like to
don't
see
know.
him fight Earl Spence Jr. To be honest, that's my decision. I'd like
Yeah,
to see
no, I, I,
him.
I agree. I agree. And then go after Pacquiao. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to LOL League, Mike Tyson, pillows on the hands, headgear, Roy Jones Jr. That's going down. We're gonna have to watch that and see
yeah.
how
When's
that
that?
all
That's
works
coming
out.
up soon, right?
The
That should
28th of
28th, right?
November.
Eight
Pop
dates.
your popcorn, buy your pay-per-view $49.95 or $49.99 or whatever it is these days, and let's watch these old guys beat the crap out of each other.